Let's talk making money in crypto, and not in terms of overall multiples, not in terms of finding the next 100x, 10x, 20x altcoin. I'm talking about using what you currently have in your portfolio and at the given time we are in the market to make some extra money. Now, put it this way, guys, before you click off the video thinking, hey, this isn't a top 10 altcoin video, this isn't the next meme coin craze mania video, I managed to do what I'm going to explain to you in this video. I do it every single time you look to a dollar cost average or reshuffle my portfolio. And actually, this one thing gave me an extra $165,000 on the top side of my portfolio. Okay, that's not chump change. And mind you, I wasn't, playing around with 100 grand. It was 20 grand. It was 20 grand. So ultimately, what's that, like an 8x? I basically made a free 8x by just tweaking a couple small little things. And it's something that we can all do. You don't have a perfect portfolio. I don't have a perfect portfolio. And I think if you don't consider this, you're really leaving a lot of money on the table. If I could say to you and analyze your portfolio and say, you could possibly have an extra $200,000, $300,000, $400,000 on the top side, who the hell isn't going to take that? Even if it is a couple grand, it's still free money. So I'm going to explain to you how I did this today. Take the time to really just give you a nice in-depth breakdown. Nothing fancy, nothing crazy, but it's something we should all be doing in the market right now, okay? First of all, I do want to say though, guys, we are pretty well due for a very good July. Now, the last week or so, the first week of July hasn't been amazing, but what we can notice here is that particularly with Bitcoin, when June is a red month, July is typically a very good month. Matter of fact, even in the bull run phase, 2-3 years of the bull run, it's typically a good July anyway. Now, again, nothing is confirmed, but like I mentioned in last night's video, we do have October and November and December, a very bullish last quarter in a bull run to still go, okay? A lot of possible gains here, 22% and 46% respectively on average in these months. So now's the time to do this because, again, whether you think the bull run's all said and done, whether you think we're in a bear market, I don't believe that, or whether you are someone, just taking this nice and steady, it's worth at least having a listen to. Don't forget though, guys, if you do find yourself enjoying today's video and you want to support all I do around here, drop down there and give me a like right now, but also make sure you're subscribed because look, you won't get this anywhere else, plain and simple. So like I said, doing this actually allowed me to have an extra $165,000 on the top side of my portfolio. Now, my portfolio isn't worth $2 million. Let's say hypothetically it is. But basically, I took $20,000, not cash. This was an existing altcoin position I had invested in. I liquidated that and then turned that into $165,000 on the top side. So obviously, for those who aren't catching on, that $20K I had invested in a coin equaled a certain amount of money on the top side, let's say a 10x, 200K. Well, when I made the reshuffle, okay, it got me an extra 165,000 on top of that 200K. So it may be a lot more money than just $165,000, okay? Which is incredible if you think about it. No matter how big your portfolio is, even if your portfolio is $10 million, it's still a significant amount of money. I'm not going to mention the coin I sold or mention the coins I bought because I know you guys, some of you guys, and you jump to conclusions. All the coins I hold in my portfolio, I strategically like. I like them because I think they're going to do well and I've done my research. However, if I say I sold a coin that I like and the reasons why, people ignore the reasons why and they jump to, hey, you just sold X coin. So I'm not going to mention that. If you want to know what coin it was, go to the private community. But you have to understand the reason why I sold it, and I love this coin, mind you, is because I was $2,000 in profit when most of my portfolio was actually underwater. Most of my coins were down at least 20% like everyone else. And it was only one of two coins I had in my entire portfolio that was actually in profit. The other coin I was in profit substantially, and I didn't want to give up such a great entry level on that coin. This coin, though, was barely in profit at that, so I decided to go with it. Again, it wasn't underwater. I don't want to make a loss in this case. And also, this coin was, again, very close to actually my entry levels. And with the market sort of pushing further and further down, I was confident I had some extra cash coming in. I'd be able to buy back in at a later date if need be. So I sold that coin. I had decided to buy 4 coins with $5,000 each. Now, you can, of course, if you decide to ever do this, if you decide to ever liquidate a position and buy back in it into other positions, again, I'm going to take you through the example here of what to look out for, how to find these coins to buy back into to give you that extra money on the top side. Again, that's what we're trying to squeeze out here, more money on the top side. Don't ever sell this coin, okay, if you haven't done the following exercise, because you could sell only to realize you go through and do all of this and go, oh, actually, it didn't make me that much money. It's not worth it. Okay, so make sure you do this exercise first and foremost. And if possible, make sure your coin's in profit. I would honestly, not financial advice, of course, I would never tell anyone to sell a coin that they're underwater on unless that coin was for sure given scam or you had no conviction and it wasn't that low. You don't want to really be losing money, even though you can tax cost harvest. You can actually take that loss and take it off your tax return at the end of the year. But still, in some cases, that really isn't worth it. And that isn't the same across all jurisdictions. So I decided, and I always decide, whenever I got to DCA, I always decide to base my buys on three main important things. There's actually four, but I'll get to the fourth later on. Can you stake them? Okay, because staking will increase profit or reduce risk. Will it diversify my portfolio? Okay, so we don't want to have 10 coins, but have half of all of our money invested in only 2 coins. Okay, you want to diversify the cost basis, your total invested income. And will it increase your profits more than other coins? Okay, so profit or less risk. And what I mean by that ultimately is that when you come to one of my sheets over here, you might want to make your own sheet, and you manage to buy, can you then reduce your average sell price to achieve your goal? If your goal is a certain amount of money, you can see top left corner over here. In this hypothetical example, let's say we're looking for $600,000 US, and our total revenue is at $850,000. Okay, well, we can begin reducing some sell levels, like near protocol over here, $25 maybe, in order to come back down to just achieve our goal. This reduces risk. Alternatively, maybe you just decide, hey, you know what? I'm a dollar cost averaging. I'm reducing my average buy prices. I'm putting more money in the market. I want to make more money. That's up to you. But again, we have that flexibility in this case. So again, make more profit or reduce risk. So here's what I do. And again, play this exercise out every time you go to dollar cost average, please. All right. It's not the most sexy topic in the world, I admit. It's something that's going to wake you up in the morning and go, oh my God, I can't wait. I mean, it takes me sometimes half hour, 45 minutes to run through this myself. But I guarantee you right now, you'll be shocked at the results. So again, I look at my portfolio, I look at all my coins, which you should really track on things like CoinMarketCap or CoinStats. This is all on CoinStats for me. This is my all-time profit loss. This isn't talking about what I'm down on the day. This is all time. So you can see this coin here, I'm up 66%. Other coins, I'm down $32,000. Huge amounts of money, okay? So you want to pick out the coins that you're down the most on, all right? So 55%, 43%, 56%, 60%, 50%, 45%, so on. You pick them out. Then you choose the coins that allow you to diversify. So I'm not going to mention these coins because I don't want any of you assuming things, all right? This is my portfolio right now, though. So what you want to do is choose the ones that aren't hyper centralized. So in my portfolio, I've got 13% in Pith and 12% in Wormhole. Now, you compare that to others like Goldfinch, Aerodrome, Axelar, Near Protocol, and so on. It's insane. I've invested a lot of money in these two. So let's say this was Wormhole and this one was Pith. Immediately, I'm going to exclude these two because if I put more money in them, I'm centralizing my portfolio even more. Let's say Pith and or Wormhole crap the bed and something happens and they go bye-bye. That's most of my portfolio said and done. You don't want to do that. So what we're trying to do here, again, is just pick the coins, if possible, that you're not overly invested in. Now, again, I wouldn't consider something overly invested if they're all give or take around the 5% different mark. These ones are substantially different. These ones are like, well, Pith is about 13%, Wormhole is about 12.5%. I mean, the next highest is around 10%, 8%, 8%, so they are substantially higher. So I would exclude these two automatically and pick ones that aren't those two coins, basically. The next thing I ask myself is, can I stake any of the coins? Now, I don't really run through this particular question often because I already know that in my own portfolio. I know that off the top of my head. But of course, you want to ask yourself that question. If you don't like to stake, that's fine. Let's pretend, though, for this example, that pretty much you could stake all of these coins, all right? So all of the coins we kind of removed from here, okay, these two, we're left with these. Basically, they all can be staked. Let's just pretend. And the reason why you want to assess this is because, like I show you in my bull run cheat sheet, guys, I mean, if you're able to stake, you can either be much safer or you can make more money. Obviously, make more money. The free coins you get over staking, you can just hold them and sell them at your sell levels. So you make more money. Pretty simple, right? Or you can just use those extra coins, assume you'll receive those over time, and then reduce the actual sell price. So you're receiving the same revenue, you can see here, but it's cheaper, it's safer. All right, that's the sort of idea in this case. That's only something you can really decide yourself. I would always opt to be much safer. I think a lot of you really, and myself included, always feel like we should go with more money because more money is great. But remember, It's all on paper. None of this actually exists until it's actually tangible in your account as cash or stable coins. So I would always argue just to make some money this bull run, and again, that also means just simply going for the safer route with staking, rather than having the good fun emotions on paper where you make more money on paper. You know what I mean? Like, it doesn't make any sense in my personal opinion based on my experience and what I've seen from others and the crazy stats that like 98% of people lose money or barely make any money at all, to kind of go, it's not worth it. Then what we're going to do is test to see how much they increase your ROI, so your overall return on investment, including staking. So again, I use CoinStats, but I'll show you today with the example of CoinMarketCap because for some reason CoinStats doesn't like me making any more portfolios. So what you're going to pretty much do before you buy, this is the time-consuming part, but trust me when I say it's very important. Before you buy, let's assume that this is our portfolio, right? Let's talk about Near Protocol, all right? We've got $2.63 average buy price. We've got 1,000 tokens. We're going to sell at $30. That's an 11x. We're going to pretty much make from $2,800 about 32 grand. Not too bad if you ask me, all right? So we're going to come here. Let's say we've got all the Near Protocol tokens in this portfolio already. We'll click add transaction. This is hypothetical, remember? So you will do this, but nothing is locked in just yet. Let's say you decide to invest some money, okay? Let's say it's about $2,000, which let's say the price is at $5. So let's say about 500 tokens or so. And then we're going to click add transaction. I would recommend adding a note if possible, if that's just like dollar cost average, whatever it may be. And then basically you'll come and click into Near Protocol. And then basically you'll come and click into Near Protocol and you will always assess your average buy price, okay? So if, hypothetically speaking, I'll add in the previous transactions, let's say we had the 1,000 tokens, we average bought in at around $2.63, and that was back whenever it was, you will notice that your average buy price will increase. So ours is $3.33 right now. So I'll come back to my mock portfolio because we bought it around $5 here again. It's obviously changed. So we'll add in the new average buy price. We'll also come over here and make sure we have 1,500 near. So I'll make sure I change this to 1,500. That'll recalibrate. Again, multiples have actually decreased because we purchased Near Protocol at a higher price than what we originally bought in. So that, again, the multiples will decrease. Ideally speaking, that's why we always look for the coins over here that are actually down. You want to look for the ones that are down the most because that'll decrease your average buy-in price, which of course gives you more multiples. And because it also gives you more multiples and you're buying in, what happens? Well, you're adding more capital to the portfolio, which of course means more money on the top side. But again, because you're reducing those sell levels as well, it makes more multiples. So it's a two birds, one stone. You're actually winning in more ways than one. So once you do this for all of your coins, again, so go to CoinMarketCap or CoinStats, do the fake transaction. So add it for all of the coins that we're doing here, all of these 6 coins, like down here, for example, and just hypothetically go into the mock portfolio and see what's the best. So what I'll do is I'll write that down. So basically I'll go Control Z, do what the portfolio was before. So we had $850,000 revenue. Then I'll bring it back so we can see Near Protocol after the changes. Okay, so 863. So what I know from this is we just gained $13,000. Okay, that's the difference between what it was before to what it was now. So by dollar cost averaging into Near, we gained 13 grand. And so you want to do this for every single one. So you'll revert the changes back on Near Protocol. You'll then go to the next coin and go, okay, let me add to the next coin. And then you'll do it and so on from there. And then reverse back and always mark this down. So in this example here, let's say we had that $2 million portfolio. Let's say we sold our coin worth 20 grand or so. Let's say the new total was 1.9 million. Again, that's this number down here, the revenue number. You'll then go to each and every single one of these coins, do that mock transaction on CoinMarketCap, add it to here, check the new total, which will be one of these new totals for each coin, and then revert it back. So it's back to this starting number. In this case, it's 1.9 million. And then keep doing it, okay? It's a repetitive process, but what you're doing here is saying, what is the new total of our portfolio after we've dollar cost average into each of these 6 candidates? From here, you can go the next step. This isn't mandatory, again, but you can do this if you want. Go to the bull run cheat sheet, enter in the tokens, right? So let's say in this case with Near Protocol, right? Let's say we bought in, again, at $5 over here. We did the 500 tokens. Near Protocol is about 10% APY right now. Let's say we stake Near Protocol for 6 months. Okay, and we're going to sell again over here at $30. That was our target. So we're going to sell at $30. Boom, it'll tell you how much you pretty much will receive in terms of overall revenue and if you want to be safer or make more money. All right, so you can then plug this into this as well. You just simply take the tokens gained and then you plug that in here. So guys, it's very important you assess this sort of stuff and you come through and you do the mock test and see how you go and see what the overall outcome is. Again, staking isn't always necessary. This is the most important part, because what you're trying to do here is find the coins we can see here in bold that are actually the coins that make you the most money. So these coins don't quite make as much. You can invest them if you want to, but we're going to pick the 4 coins out that give us the most ROI, and they will become the 4 coins even after staking that we decide to keep. Okay, I do this, again, every single time I invest. No matter how much money I look to put in the market, no matter if it's $1,000, $10,000, whatever. I always like to do it because, again, this allows me to have a look at the total revenue I make. So say I bought all 4 of those coins, okay, that we just showed you there, all right? If we actually go ahead and buy them, we total those extra gains, and that becomes substantially more overall on the top side. So like this might be 2.19 million, this will be 2.2, but again, this overall might be, a few $100,000 more over the coin we just sold. Now, in this case, you would take that, let's say it was an extra $200,000 over the coin we sold's total profit. And in that case, you'd go, okay, this is definitely worthwhile. And that's what I did, okay? From here, let's say this again was 850K. That's what we just did after the exercise. We were, okay, let's do this. Because we're trying to chase the $600,000 target over here, that's what we're trying to achieve our goal. This is our goal over here. What you can do, like I said before, is just simply be safer and reduce the sell price. So you might make Near Protocol $20, you might make Mina $4, you might make Hedera, let's say 30 cents maybe. You might make Render Protocol $90, and you just go down until you achieve this. You're going to reduce the multiples. That's the whole point. The point is to take the amount of money you've invested and simply just achieve your goal. If you're someone who's letting greed take over, if you're someone that's like, well, putting more money in the market, I want to make more money. Hey, go ahead. For the life of you, try to do that. That's absolutely great. And I hope it works out for you. I really do. I really, really do. But I'm here to strictly make money and achieve the goals I want to. Okay, then from there, we can do whatever we want in the next cycle, whatever. We'll have the beauty of foresight and, opportunities in the bear market. But again, we're a little bit too late for that right now, in my opinion. Guys, thank you so much for watching. I hope you have enjoyed it. I hope you have learned something new. Not the sexiest topic in the world, but if you do this, you really can capitalize on the current market conditions. I wouldn't recommend, again, none of this is financial advice, anyone that doesn't know much about crypto or what I just said, if this was a complete mind F for you, if you're like, I'm so confused, don't even bother. Don't even bother trying. If you're not someone who's organized like this, if you're not someone who's leveraging like tools like that sheet, okay, then you're running the risk of miscalculating something in your mind, and then on the top side, you end up screwing yourself over anyway. Again, think about tax if you are deciding to sell as well, because tax can really eat you alive. All right. Thanks all. Talk to you soon. Take care. Bye-bye.